Chapter 14 The Mermaid Principle. In order to find a mermaid, first one has to realize that mermaids don't leave a trail. But if you are lucky, there is a chance you may see a mermaid's tail. That's about as close as I got, because all I caught was a splash. The harder I tried to find her, the quicker she'd swim off. Trying to find a mermaid was like trying to catch spaciousness. It's impossible to grasp. And so, I'd go to the wall of the 24 necklaces, and I'd try one of the 24 on to connect with a wise spirit. And so I'd ask today's necklace, "Where do mermaids live?" Then the necklace would respond, "Wherever a mermaid goes is nowhere anyone quite knows." Well, how do you know? When we examine living in the material world, we are talking about experiencing the world. And with words, we are only talking about experiencing the world of mind. It's very hard to discuss the so-called real world because the world is beyond the mind, and mermaids have connections to galaxies beyond our own. This means that a mermaid can go beyond the mind, behind emotions, and that's why no one ever knows where mermaids go. Often, if we try to understand one or write about one, we find ourselves with a vague assumption, which leads us to be more confused and further away from what a mermaid might be experiencing. So if there was an idea of the mermaid principle, she could sometimes be regarded as cunning or tricky or helpful or mysterious. A mermaid is like the depths of the ocean. Just imagine spaciousness, where you can go beyond thought, or like the air going beyond the clouds in the sky. This is the place where fish swim or birds fly. A mermaid could represent a state of being beyond contemplation. She exists within a state of flow, no different than the ocean. And when she acts, her mind is in a space between the processes of non-thought. And so, it is true that a real mermaid is something that cannot be caught. So out of non-thinking, or the absence of thought, energy builds up like the wind, waves, or even volcanic lava. And out from this, something powerful occurs. Some say this is where all human life comes from. It is the birth of creation that nurtures the soulful essence within all of life's creatures. And so, we could imagine that there is a connection between the mermaid and the Great Mother. Such a mermaid principle is the feminine principle that exists within our state of being, much like the mother's womb that processes and births the seed. And so, when we plant ourselves in her spacious reality, she gives birth to spiritual beings who find human bodies, and so it is through the mermaid principle that a soul like us can become freed, said the spiritual essence of this necklace. Now the 24 spirits within these necklaces were of rosaries and malas, and they were not quite living in a real form. Rather, these voices were formless, but often my imagination would picture them as certain animals. This one I thought of as a swan. Any other advice? Sensitivity is divinity. Be yourself bravely. We are our choices. Flowing, not forcing, said the swan. Far out. Then that night, I heard a meow when the black cat decided to talk. He took a bite of my sleeve and started to pull on it. Upon that quiet moon, my soul went wandering when this cat seemed to know the way. He pulled me to the marsh where we sat on our heels before I noticed that although the cat had nothing to say, he came here to meditate. Underneath the stars, at the hours in between the night and day, The old knowing stirs. There the cat gazed over his whiskers when the wind started to laugh through the cattails and flowers. All was gentle. All was strange. Oh, it was a perfect night to pray. At first I wondered what to say, but the cat didn't speak at all. Working with the idea from the golden flower of life, it seemed that uniting with the spark of divinity was not something to be grasped at all. Rather, it was a bit like that mermaid, no way to catch it, but rather it did have a presence. And what if we just rest within it as a witness? And there we noticed how there is a seed of serenity, which is pure presence within this very moment. And that is what some call a glimpse of enlightenment. Why, enlightenment isn't some destination, but what if it's a journey back to this moment? The real question is, how long can we rest in such spacious awareness? Wait a minute. The real answer is that this whole enlightenment thing isn't about the me at all. What if it's about seeing clearly? Just like when the ripples of the water settle and you can see the bottom of the ocean. When the mind and creation is united, we go to a place beyond an individual identity, beyond separation. There everything becomes one as we witness the purity within this moment. Look upon this life. Examine the path to reach this exact point. The true nature of reality has a sort of energy, and the silent cat was tapped into it. It's an understanding that even if we don't know the way, we can know that there is a way, and that even though we may never find all the right words for all the secrets to explain, we can observe in stillness to see that nature knows how these secrets are always conveyed. You know, when I first started to draft the essential map of my human potential, there was quite a bit that I forgot to remember. So how could words even understand all the keys of our universe? For example, let's not forget about quantum order. The universe does not respond to begging, but what if it responds to conviction, intention, or maybe vibration? This seems to be embedded within a code of silence or a power of non-thinking. When the mind becomes united with creation, where we enter the natural rhythm of pure presence, then our energy becomes clear, and one way to control the mind is to direct our focus on breathing. Then our intention becomes precise, and we can realize that we don't need anything, but rather the goal is in the presence of our very being. And what about how energy is transferred? These necklaces connect to places beyond, below, and above. Did you know that we can create anchor objects or talisman like these necklaces? And each time we wear them or touch them, we begin to create an association with them based upon something we're reminded of. And from this, vibration manifests. The universe doesn't replicate what we wish to see. It mirrors what we are. Now, isn't that bizarre? After some time in silent meditation, the ripples upon the water grew with calm stillness. As if the cat was teaching and leading, I saw past the surface to the bottom of the marsh when I noticed a mermaid smiling. She swam before us, and a moment later, she breached the surface with a splash in front of us. Caught in her gaze, it was mesmerizing. She peeked out of the water when I saw her smiling. Right when I was attuned into the natural universe, she arrived as if God had sent a sign. In essence, her and I communicated without words, kind of like sewing two halves together. And as we stitched together our intervals of energy, for the first time, we gazed upon the other through the depths of our consciousness. I think she was trying to teach me or lead me, and this connection created a mutual attraction where the mental focus began to rely less on words and more upon awareness, as if she invited me into the infinite power of creation's totality. Then after that, she winked and swam away underneath the water. A mere moment with her made me believe in the power of divinity, and from our first time together, I saw her human eye as she offered me the gift of serenity.